Hello, Teacher Willie here. On lesson 7, we're going to see the different climates of the world. Dear Nayeli, as promised, I send you another postcard now from Vancouver, Canada. It is a beautiful city surrounded by forests. Its climate is cold and rainy all year. However, upon arrival, I felt a pleasant warmth. We left the jackets because the weather report indicated that the temperature will get at 28 degrees Celsius, something strange for the month of September when it is cold or windy and the forests are covered with golden and red leaves in the fall. But it seemed that we were in midsummer. However, we did not care after the heat in Merida. It was nice to talk in light clothes between maples and pines until my next flight. Tanya, your aunt who loves you. Let's begin. Many times you have heard on the radio or television news about the intense cold and snowfall in Europe or the United States, or extreme droughts in some African countries, heat waves in Australia, or typhoons that cause flooding in Southeast Asia. Many of these meteorological phenomena may be different from those that occur in the place where you live, and this is because in each place there are certain conditions that cause different climates. As a group discuss what are the differences in the climate of the place where you live in relation to the weather of Vancouver, Canada. Let's learn more. Weather is the result of atmospheric conditions at a given time, temperature, humidity, and the precipitation. To know the climate of a region, it is necessary to record it with devices such as the thermometer, the rain gauge, weather elements like temperature, wind speed, and the amount of rain. Unlike the weather, the climate is the result of the average of those elements for a minimum period of 10 years. The most widely used classification of climates takes in consideration two of its elements, temperature and precipitation. This allows to classify climates into five large groups: tropical, dry, temperate, cold, and polar. Watch the following map of the world and recognize the distribution of climates on the continents. Classification of climates. Polar climates. They are located in high latitudes at the polar circles. The average temperature of the warmest month is less than 10 degrees Celsius, and the precipitations are inferior to 300 annual millimeters. Tundra fleece, close to the polar circles, with intense and constant cold. No month exceeds 10 degrees Celsius. Low rainfall in form of snow, diminishing as it approaches the poles. Perpetual ice fleece, intense and constant cold with temperature 0 degrees Celsius or less. Low rainfall in the form of snow. In this climate, there is no vegetation. High polar mountain. They are located in the high mountains where the altitude is greater than 3,000 meters. They predominate around the world in areas of large mountain ranges. Tropical climates spread in the warm or tropical zones from 0 degrees to the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn. Present elevated temperatures and abundant rainfall throughout the year, especially in summer and part of the fall. Temperate climates. They are distributed between 30 and 45 degrees north and south latitudes. They are favorable for people because of their average temperatures, above 10 degrees Celsius throughout the year. They present a succession of the four seasons well differentiated by temperatures and rainfall. Dry climates. They are distributed between 25 and 50 degrees of the latitude. In them, the evaporation is greater than precipitation. The dry desert aridity predominates. It hardly ever rains, and temperatures are variable throughout the year. Extreme weather, nights are very cold, and in the day heat up to 50 degrees Celsius. Dry steppe, long hot summers, and short winters. It snows little. Cold climates are distributed between 50 degrees of latitude and the polar circles, with harsh winters. Average temperature of the coldest month is less than -3 degrees Celsius, and the one of the warmest month no higher than 10 degrees Celsius. It snows one or more months a year. Ocean currents, which are like rivers that run in the sea with different temperatures, also modify the weather. For example, the current of the Gulf is warm and it moves from the Gulf of Mexico to the British Isles and Denmark. It produces the pleasant temperate climate in countries that, due to their latitude, they should have cold weather. The weather also changes from one place to another because of relief and altitude. That's why in the mountains and on the plateaus it's colder than on the plains and the valleys. It's possible to observe snow at the top of the high mountains and in tropical regions. Activity 1. Write the climates of each correspondent box. Compare your latitude and approximate and the proximity to lakes and seas and the type of relief. Check the climate factor that most influences each of the places and complete the first outline blank boxes. So we have climate factors and we are going to do Cordillera de los Andes. Let's check at the page 31 on your atlas. We can see on page 31 of your atlas that here is South America and we can see the relief. Let's locate the Cordillera de los Andes. This is the Cordillera de los Andes, all right? Goes all the way from Argentina and Chile and it runs up north through Peru. Let's see what is its altitude. Its altitude is about 3,000 meters over the sea level. So we're going to write down here. It's Cordillera de los Andes is high mountains above 3,000 meters above sea level. Now let's check on its climate. For that, we'll go to page 51, where we can see South America and its climate. As you can see, the Cordillera de los Andes is located here, and the gray color means high polar mountain. So there you go. To answer Korea and Guyanas, you need to find pages 31 and 51 for the Guyanas and 33 and 53 for Korea.